You don't need a trailer to know what One Punch Man thinks it is. The second you land on the listing before a single frame rolls, it's already pitching you. The title makes a dare you can hear from across the room. And the synopsis doesn't just explain a premise, it lays out a problem. Not a villain, not a quest, a problem with attention. What happens when a hero is so effective that the thrill is gone? That's the hook One Punch Man leads with in public. Not lore, not a roster, not a prophecy. It introduces Saitama as ordinary on the surface, obsessed with becoming a hero, and then it snaps the story in half. The power fantasy is won too quickly. He trained for years, lost his hair, got what he wanted, and now the cost is boredom. You can feel how intentional that is as a first handshake. It's not the usual promise of effort leading to triumph. It's the promise of a ceiling so low the victories don't even feel like victories. That's the identity the show chooses to announce before you ever commit to a watch. Read in that light, the main season synopsis is less here s what happens and more here s how to read me. Saitama defeats anyone with one punch, and he hates that it's this easy. The public page even chooses words that highlight the emotional core: boredom, lost thrill over extensive world building. It offers a clean emotional line: strength without challenge can damage your sense of purpose. That's a remarkably efficient way to position a series. This isn't a show about how to get strong. It's a show about what strength does to your day-to-day life when nothing can touch you. Season 2 publicly adds to that self-portrait. Its synopsis doesn't retell the joke, it shifts the attention. It places Saitama back in an unremarkable routine while danger ticks upward around him. It foregrounds the Hero Association's pressure, a recruitment plan that blurs the line between heroes and hoodlums, and the sudden attention on a man who calls himself Garo. Even without scenes, you can sense the re-aiming of the camera. From a private problem, how do I enjoy fighting again, to the public system around him, who gets to call themselves a hero, who gives the credit, and what happens when someone starts hunting that system from the outside. It's still the same premise on the box, but the second box includes pressure points that pull more eyes into the frame. If the synopses are the loudest sentences in the room, the labels and relation maps are the fine print that tell you who's supposed to notice. Across the public records, One Punch Man is marked as an adaptation of a web manga. That's a simple line that does quiet work. It nudges an expected audience: readers who already know Saitama's deadpan affect, fans who trust manga to anime pipelines, and people who gravitate to action comedy tags. It also filters the promise. A web manga source suggests an elastic sense of tone, one that can sprint from catastrophic damage to a blank stare in a second, without needing a single clip to prove it. The relation graph, even at a glance, aims your attention. You see a main TV season, a prequel OVA, a set of specials tucked into home video, and then a sequel TV season. That's a tidy spine, origin flavor on the side, bonus bits for collectors, and a continuation. For a new viewer, those labels do the minimum heavy lifting you actually need. Where to begin, what counts as extra, and what sits in the same lane. Notice what that excludes. There's no labyrinth of parallel timelines in those first releases, no flood of character-specific spin-offs in the baseline. The public map promises that you can understand the pitch quickly and extend your time with it without getting lost. The OVA synopsis reinforces the emotional angle as much as the timeline. Before the hero we meet in the main season, there's a story about training, getting beat up enough to destroy your tracksuit, and doing right by the person who keeps you stitched together. That's a small-scale loyalty story. It's not a world-shaking prequel. It's a reminder that effort and human ties mattered before apocalyptic monsters did. When an origin blurb emphasizes a tailor and a favor instead of some cosmic revelation, it's hinting that One Punch Man sees dignity in the errands that don't make headlines. That's part of the brand's voice. Even the way the first season's home video specials are described is telling. They're specials included in the Blu-ray and DVD releases. That's straightforward packaging language that signals where they live in the stack. They're add-ons, not required steps. To a curious viewer, that reads as permission to enjoy the central joke and only chase the extras if you want more time in the tone. Character and episode naming quietly back the sales pitch. Without quoting anything, you can look at an early episode title like The Strongest Man and hear the promise the show made in the synopsis echoing back. It's a label that says the ceiling is already reached. It asks a question without asking it. If the strongest guy is in the room in episode 1, what actually keeps your attention? The public-facing names aren't spoilers, they're positioning. Tags and format flags matter here too. Action, comedy, and a hero framework are the obvious gates, but the combination is doing more than filing. Action on its own promises pressure and damage. Comedy promises release. Hero language promises attention. Who earns it, who fakes it, who gets the credit. One Punch Man aligns those labels so the viewer expects quick bursts of violence, then a cut to someone's deadpan reaction or bruised ego. The joke and the fight share billing on purpose. Season 2's synopsis and relations tune the expectation further. By pointing to a rise in monsters, a resource strain, and a controversial recruitment plan, it invites you to care about institutions, not just individuals. By naming Garo in the blurb, it endorses a specific rival as worth watching. That's a public choice about who should get noticed next. You don't need to know his philosophy to understand that he's meant to draw eyes, and that the show is widening its lens from one man's boredom to a world with stronger crosscurrents. Release structure does one more important thing. It tells you how much time it's asking for without spelling anything out. 2 clean 12-episode TV seasons in the listing suggest approachable blocks. An OVA that lives before the main run gives you a short on-ramp. Specials that sit with home video tell you they're optional like dessert. Without clicking play, you already know how much time the franchise is asking for, and where the extras live if you decide you want them. All of this happens before fandom debates, before production interviews, before anyone argues rankings in a comment thread. But reaction still bleeds into public identity. When a title is broadly available, easy to find, and consistently grouped with a sequel, a prequel OVA, and a bundle of specials, that availability feeds attention. People talk because the map is simple and the promise is bold. The more the attention piles up on that first season's premise, overwhelming power meets boredom, the more the second season's blurb can assume you already get the joke and can handle a shift toward pressure inside the hero world. Public identity and public attention keep nodding to each other. The synopsis makes a clean case, the crowd shows up, the catalog keeps that case easy to see. It's worth sitting with how rare that clarity can be. Plenty of action shows lead with sprawling terminology, faction charts, and esoteric prophecies. One Punch Man leads with a feeling, the flatness that comes after you win too easily. Then it layers in who notices you, who resents you, and who wants the credit. It sells boredom first and then cashes in on everything boredom warps: effort, loyalty, and the way people perform heroism when awards are on the line. Even the adaptation line, web manga, quietly lowers the threshold for entry. It implies a tone that can switch registers mid-sentence and a format that was built for quick-hit setups. That primes you for episodes that might live on tight, memorable beats and characters who can land in a single pose. You don't have to read the source to pick up that promise, the label plants it. Zooming back out, the franchise's public record does something smart with scope. It extends itself, prequel OVA, home video specials, a clearly labeled second TV season without trying to look like an impenetrable universe. That keeps the door open for anyone who wants a straight shot through the mainline and a few side tastes. It's coherent because each piece is described in relation to the same core, a hero so strong he lost the thrill, and a world that has to decide what to do with that. And that's why this kind of reading matters, especially when you're starting an essay before you've got a stack of verified dialogue on hand. The way a series talks about itself in public is not neutral. It's a pitch, a filter, and sometimes a confession. With One Punch Man, the confession is that victory can be lonely. The pitch is that watching that loneliness clash with a noisy hero industry is fun, and the filter is for viewers who want action that moves fast and a joke that bites. You can learn all of that without a single scene. So if you've ever wondered why One Punch Man became such an easy recommendation, part of the answer is in the title page. It tells you exactly what to expect and exactly how much time it wants from you, and it does it with a smile that hides a little ache. If you enjoyed this read on how shows sell themselves, please like, comment, and subscribe.